Hello, everyone. Hold on just a second because I forgot to do something. I don't know. Okay, turn that off. Anyway, hi. Yes, I'm Alicia. For those of you that don't know me, I am a psychic medium. I'm what's to be considered a no-tools medium, meaning I don't need to use cards or anything like that, but I can and I do incorporate them into my readings. Okay. Trying to think. What I do is I channel. So I channel and communicate with the energy of those that have passed. I can channel with those that are still here, places, objects, and I channel and communicate with my spirit guides, and I use my third eye. All right, all my readings are timeless. Anything I say could be past, present, or future. It could deal with you, somebody close to you, maybe somebody you haven't met yet. Okay, if my readings resonate with you, yay. Hopefully they do with at least some of you. If not, then the reading is just not for you or not for you at this time. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then I'll start talking, and then I think I'm going to do a reading for somebody on here during the live. So I'm going to do that, so it won't be just like generalized or just random. So let me pray. Dear Lord God, please protect me with your white light of protection always. Please help me to clearly see, hear, feel, and know the messages I'm about to receive and give. My intention is to communicate with spirit, with my spirit guides, with angels, with energy, and to do a mediumship reading. I'll pray again right before I do it, but I wanted to pray before I started talking. I hope everyone is having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you watch this. I got some news. Hold on just a second. I don't know what one I want.
Starting today, anyone can monetize.
Well, I don't want that. It's a freaking commercial. Hold on. Okay, anyhow. As usual, you know, it's like the saga continues, and it's like ongoing, right? Okay, everyone knows about, you know, the guy who I was seeing, you know, and the issues that we've had, and, you know, the breakup and all of that. And not once have I mentioned anybody's name, okay? Yesterday I did say a first name, you know, I did say Ryan, but I'm friends with probably about 30 Ryans, maybe, on here, on Facebook, maybe about 30 of them. And aside from that, you know, the funny thing is, because, you know, we broke up, and then of course the other day he blocked me again. You know, he always does that, and he gets a hair up his ass, and then he has to block me, you know, and then will unblock me, and then he'll block me again, and then unblock me, but it doesn't matter. So anyhow, so I was blocked. Obviously, he got wind, or probably unblocked me and watched one of my lives, or maybe one of his sisters, or, you know, somebody he knows watched it and heard the name Ryan. Okay, well, I've yet to ever say his last name. So this person must really have a complex, or must really think that I'm like spouting off things, or like saying things, you know, that are untrue, because then he goes and posts and puts my whole name on his page, that he is not dating Alicia Augustus, nor will he ever date Alicia Augustus, and anything she says is lies, and this and that and the other. Okay, number one, no. Okay, I haven't lied about anything. I don't have any reason to lie. You know, I really don't. If I've acted crazy, I've told you guys I've acted crazy, you know. If I've done stupid shit, I've taken accountability and responsibility for that. And I've shared everything on here, you know, from both sides of the spectrum. It has never been one-sided, you know. And I just think it's kind of funny, you know, for somebody to do something like that, you know. Well, number one, yeah, we were dating. Are we now? No, we haven't been, which everyone that watches me knows that, okay? I'm not sure what the big thing is, unless he's trying to hurry up and like date somebody else like real quick, or have sex with somebody, and someone's like, well, I thought you were with Alicia. Oh, I'm not with her, da 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 da. Because that's how he is. Okay, yes, we were together. Are we now? No. Okay, you know, and for somebody to act immature like that, and to continuously keep doing the things that he's doing, go to such great lengths to do what he's doing, in my opinion, shows lack of intelligence, number one. He's ignorant, and acting ignorant, I should say, and shows his maturity, shows his age, shows he doesn't know how to handle a situation in a mature adult manner, you know. Like I stated the other evening, for someone to sit there and say, you know, because I asked for my things back, and I told you guys what all he had, because number one, he has one of my old phones, okay? And as I told you guys last night, if anybody gets any kind of message from me through Messenger, unless it's relating to doing a reading, I'm not going to reach out and like be messaging people about readings. You know, you guys generally get a hold of me. So if there's any post, if there's anything with my name, it's not from me, it's from him. I'm telling you now, because he has my old phone. He straight told me that, because I asked about something, this was about a week ago, and he told me that he had got into my accounts and did whatever. I forget what it was that he did. And because I asked him, I said, well, how were you on that, or how did you know? Oh yeah, because he had made a comment about something that me and a girlfriend of mine were talking about back and forth through Messenger on Facebook. And I said, well, how did you know that? Because I knew I didn't say anything to him. And he just looked at me, and I said, yeah, how would you know that? I mean, I knew. I was waiting for him to say it. So then he did, you know, finally say, well, yeah, you know, your phone, and talking about getting on there. Well, how did you get on there? You know, how did you know my passwords? So obviously, I don't know, either one of the times that he had my phone, looking at it or looking at whatever, he was probably transferring stuff to the other phone of mine, which I let him borrow until he got another phone, you know. So he's got all my passwords, all my Google stuff. Number one, it's an invasion of privacy, you know, all my Facebook stuff, all my Messenger stuff, everything. So he can basically have whatever's downloaded from my phone onto that. I've gone on there twice now and logged myself out of other devices. You know what I mean? I've already done that twice now, just since last night. So for somebody that really doesn't care about somebody and wants nothing to do with somebody, why do you keep doing this? Why are you going out of your way to ensure that everybody knows, you know, that we're not together? I've not once said that we're still together. You know, I made it very clear that we were broke up. I mean, I was on here, 3 weeks ago or whatever, bawling my eyes out at 5 o'clock in the morning that time, talking about the whole mess. You know what I mean? And yeah, I just, I could do a lot of things. I could say a lot of things, but I'm going to say this. Ryan Klein needs to give me my stuff back, needs to quit threatening me through text messages about either having somebody beat me up, somebody come and do something to me, you know, him doing something. That needs to stop. I would like my stuff back. Period. You know, I don't want anything else from this person except for my things. Now, you know, to go one day, to go out of your way to tell me that you still have my things, and then a day and a half later, no, you threw them in the trash. That also shows lack of maturity. You know what I mean? You don't do that to somebody's stuff. I guess you can, you know, but it's just ridiculous. And for this person to keep going out of their way to do the things that they're doing, you know, accusing me of lying. I'm not lying about anything, you know, just because I won't hand him over every single dime that I have, you know, doesn't mean I'm lying. You know, maybe I'm omitting how much money I have and how much money's in the bank and what's going on because it's none of his business. You know, if we were together or something, that would be something different. But when I know that a person has been taking advantage of me and continues to do that, there's got to come a time and a point where you got to put a stop to it. So, okay, you know, yeah. So then that's what he's probably trying to do. Also, with having the information from my phone, is get in my bank stuff, you know, figure out my passwords, which all these are felonies, and he doesn't realize it's telecommunications fraud. You know, I may have been to jail a lot, but I also read the law book a lot, and I know the law, you know, and I guess being there came in handy, you know, and I learned a lot, and it needs to stop, you know, it needs to quit. And I'm saying, you know, there's no reason to keep going back and forth. It's ridiculous. Mr. Ryan Klein, just give me my things back, and this can be done. I don't even need to see you to get my stuff. You can leave it on my porch, you know what I mean? Just point blank, period. You know, I'm getting ready to move, and I just want to move forward, you know, and I can't do that if I have this person who's being immature and showing their age, basically, keep posting things about me. You know what I mean? I've yet to post anything about him. This is the first time I've ever said his name. You know, if he wants to act immature, you know, oh, I'll show you this and that. I mean, I'm not going to go into that. I could show you text messages for days on end, you know, from the man. I mean, it doesn't matter. He knows we were together. I've yet to say that we are together now. Everybody knows that we're broke up, Ryan. So if you get this, everybody knows. They've known for weeks. Okay. Now, did he continue to come back into my life and still continue to have sex with me and things like that? Am I saying that? Yeah, I am. Because he thought it was okay to go from being a girlfriend and just having me go back to being just a friend with benefits. And I told you guys last night, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm worth a lot more than that. And I value myself a lot more than that. And I feel that I would be in a different category than somebody that he's just screwing and doing. And, you know, for as long as we've known each other and, you know, kind of been in and out of each other's lives, whatever, and became really good friends. He did. He became a really good friend of mine. And I even told him that when he was in jail this last time, that he was like my best friend, you know. And so honestly, I think that's what hurts more than anything, for him to continue to do things like this. You know what I mean? It's just uncalled for, and I don't need it. I don't want it. You know, if the person is done, I've done, said whatever, but the only thing I bothered him about a few days ago was the mere fact that I wanted my stuff, you know, and he's going to great lengths to block me, unblock me, block me, block me, and all this and that, and he wants to ensure that everybody knows that we're not together. Okay, go ahead. You know, it's fine. Mr. Ryan Klein, we're not together. You know, everybody knows that, okay? So you can rest easy there, bud. You know, geez, no more sleepless nights on that one. Because I bet you got a whole line of people just lined up, ready to date you there, you know. It is what it is, and anyone that gets with him, and I'm just being honest, will see the type of person that he is. The people that he is around, his family, his so-called friends, you know, everybody sees how he is. I mean, I heard how he was when I first met him, And I didn't even know the guy, and I'd heard all this stuff. And it's like, okay, you know, because people used to talk about me. So I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to ask him about it, question him, you know, and see what he says. And he was upfront and honest about, you know, the things I'd asked him when I first met him, you know, but as things progressed and addictions got hold of people, I will say, yes, this person turned into a different person. And then once he was incarcerated and got clean, he was a completely different person. You know, he was nice and caring and kind and respectful. And I don't even think, I mean, he didn't call me a single name like the whole time. You know what I mean? So anyhow, you know, it is what it is. I just wanted to stop. Again, with the age gap, you know, I understand, but I just wanted to quit. There's no reason for it. So, but people will see, and he will see one day, maybe not. People eventually see the error of their ways and the wrongs that they've done, and maybe then one day he can take accountability and responsibility for how he has treated me. He knows he has treated me poorly throughout the whole time that I've known him. Everybody knows he has. Everybody that knows us and knows him and the situationship between he and I. Oh my gosh, tomorrow's Thursday. I get my tooth tomorrow. I was thinking about that, but knows how he is and knows how he has been to me. And everyone under the sun kept warning me and telling me, Alicia, he's just using you, you know, and this and that and the other. And, you know, people don't want to believe things like that when it's right there, like, happening to them, you know. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. It's hard to come to the realization that maybe that person didn't care for you and was just using you, you know. But I don't see how any person, unless they're a narcissist, a sociopath, or some type of psychopath, could do that to a person for as long as he and I have known each other, you know what I mean, and not have any care or concern about what they could potentially be doing to that other person, how they could be harming them, you know, their head, their heart, you know, mentally, emotionally, and things like that. So, you know, I don't wish ill will on him. I don't wish ill will on anyone. And I wish him the best. And that's it. I just want my stuff. So, and I wanted to stop. So, okay. I'm going to pray. Dana, I know you're on here, so I had to get that out because I don't appreciate people posting stuff on their page, putting my name out there and saying all this stuff. I mean, it ain't that serious, guy. You know, if somebody asks you if we're together, you say no. Like, what is so hard about that? That's what I'm not getting. Like, you know, that's what I mean. He's going out of his way to continuously do things like this to me. And it just doesn't make sense. Between the cops, calling my mom, and then now this, like, and then keeping my shit, and then going online, you know, my Google, got all my passwords, go on my Facebook, my Messenger, and it needs to quit. It needs to fucking quit. Or I'll call somebody. I'll call the police. I don't care. I'm not a cop caller, but if it's going to continue like this, I don't have an issue with it because I don't have any issues anymore. So I'll call them. You know what I mean? Period. You know, just quit. I can't even see, people. I can't see. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready. All right. So anyhow, yeah, very much so. Very childish, very immature. Yeah. Being very ignorant about the whole thing. And of course, everything's my fault. You know, I get blamed for everything. I'm supposedly a narcissist, you know, and just, yeah, I mean, and then for him to sit and say and text me 2 different times about how I need to die and he wishes I was dead, and that's terrible. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say to somebody, you know. I had a man beat me on an, you know, we were together on and off for 10 years, very abusive relationship, you know, physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally, sexually, all of it. And the man nearly killed me on 3 different occasions. The very last time in 2009, I mean, he about beat me to death. And I still never, ever said things like that to him, that I wished he was dead. That was my kid's father, and now he is dead, you know. And about 1.5 years prior to him passing away, he had to have one of his legs amputated. And a good friend of mine that's been a friend of mine since I was maybe 7, he said, Alicia, when he got his leg amputated, he said, you know, that's karma, right? And I said, don't you dare say that. I said, no, don't. And he said, that is. And he said, for all that shit he put you through, he said, for 10 years, he said, and about killed you, that's karma. And I said, well, if it is, it is. I said, I didn't wish that upon him. And he's like, oh, I'm not saying that. And I said, yeah, I said, because I would never, ever, ever wish anything like that upon anybody, you know. And so, but now he's passed away. And it is unfortunate, you know, because I understand that the man was terrible to me, but he was still my kid's father, and they didn't hardly know him, and they were like just getting to know him, you know, about 1 year prior to him passing, just starting, you know, to get to know him and stuff. So it's just sad, you know what I mean? I'm not making excuses for anything that man did to me. I'm not saying it's okay. None of that. You know, I'm not excusing any of it. But there's a difference, and this is what I told my kids. How your dad was to me has nothing to do with how he is to you. And him trying to be a father. I'm not going to get in any way of it. You know, my middle daughter, she was always afraid to even tell me anything about the time that they shared together, or, you know, she was like afraid to, not afraid, but like, yeah, weary of like coming to me and like being happy about like seeing him or spending time with him. And I told her, I said, Deli, I said, that's your dad. I said, if you had a good time, you had a good time. I said, your dad wasn't all bad all the time to me. You know, I said, he was a very good guy. I said he was funny, and I told her all the, you know, good things about him and stuff. I said he and I just didn't mesh well together at all. I said, and with us being on the drugs, you know, that fueled the fire. You know, the man did have a temper, but, you know, the drugs did not help. Being up for days on end, you know, and then stuff would happen and arguments, and then, I mean, it doesn't excuse him hitting me. I mean, there's no excuse for that, and beating the crap out of me, no. But that didn't help, you know. But I did try to ensure that my kids knew, you know, the good parts of him, you know. So I'm just saying, you can see the difference and not even just age difference, but the difference in mentality and how I think, and then how somebody else thinks, you know, because probably there's more people out there in this world that probably would wish the worst on that person if they did that to them, you know, as much as that man did what he did to me. But I just can't do that. I can't. I know I've cussed people out before and said some mean things, you know, that I shouldn't have said. But I've never said I wished anybody was dead, you know. That's just how I am. I just care about people, period. I guess it's just hurtful to go from somebody being so nice and so caring to all of a sudden I'm the worst person in the world, you know, and I'm all these bad, terrible things and names, and it's just hurtful. That's all. And I'm using a dryer sheet to wipe my eyes, but that's okay. So, all right, I'm done. Whew. And yes, I'm crying, and I'm allowed to cry, and it's okay. Because crying, actually, when you release those tears, it's releasing the negativity. It's releasing all of that. So it's actually very healthy to cry. And that is one thing. Yes, I am a little bit overly emotional anymore. When I was with him, I wasn't allowed to cry. You know, I'd get hit again or, you know, or whatever. And I didn't cry for the longest time. Over 15 years, I didn't cry. And probably about 10 years ago, I just started up again. So being able to express my emotions and my feelings. And I mean, going from showing no emotion, no nothing, not even being able to think for myself, you know, basically having to have every single decision and choice that I make run by him. You know, this person, my kid's dad, wasn't allowed around friends or family at first. You know, at first I went, but then, you know, couldn't go around them. I couldn't go around them unless he was there. You know, well, why don't they come over to the house? Okay, that was fine, but then they could only come over if he was there, you know. And then it got to the point where I couldn't even be around my family. You know, I wasn't even allowed around my family, and it was just, it was bad. It got really bad, you know, and you become brainwashed, and in a sense, and it's very traumatic going through all the things that I went through with that man, you know, and being mentally, emotionally, and verbally abused, like daily, you know, being physically abused. I don't want to say daily from him, but almost every weekend, every single weekend for about, because he would be out of town working most of the time from Sunday afternoon until Thursday night. So probably from Saturday night, Sunday morning until he would leave is when it would occur for about a day and a half and nonstop. I mean, I've had noses broke and my jaw broke and, you know, just blood everywhere. And I've been kicked and punched like in the face and the stomach and, I mean, everywhere in my head. Like, had irons thrown at me, you know. I mean, I've been picked up and thrown against walls and like had him just like kick me in the face, like, you know, as I'm on the ground, and, you know, been hit with, like I said, ironing boards, irons, you know, brooms, frozen food. Like, I mean, I'm very lucky to even still freaking be here, you know. And yeah, that's just a terrible thing for somebody to wish upon somebody, is to wish that they were dead, or say that life would be better off if I were dead, if I wasn't here. I'm just going to pray for him, for real. I'm just going to pray for him because that person needs help, you know. So that's it. Moving on. All right, dear Lord God, please protect me with your white light of protection always. Please help me to clearly see, hear, feel, and know the messages I'm about to receive and give. My intention is to communicate with spirit, with my spirit guides, with angels, with energy, and to do a mediumship reading for Dana Mahaffey. Okay. All right. Now, yes, we did part of the reading. I did part of it yesterday for you. I figured I'd go ahead and do it on here and maybe do some cards. I mean, obviously I channel all throughout. Since I didn't do any at all yesterday. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, here, let me do, because I do a regular card thing too that I know how to do. So just give me a second here as I get this set up. But yeah, so aside from all that, you know, I'm doing good and great. I'll have my tooth fixed tomorrow, and let's see. I'm going to be doing in-person readings probably every weekend starting in March. Well, I think it starts every other weekend here at a place. I'll let you know all the details once everything's set up. Doing that, I'm going to be teaching some art classes. And then probably working there also. So, you know, just part-time, whatever. But, so that's good. You know, good news on my end. So things are starting, you know, to turn around. And all of this came about as of yesterday. So I'm happy, you know, and being in a place that, you know, has my crystals and gemstones, and has, you know, they have an apothecary section, and a whole bunch of plants. I'll just say that. So a whole bunch of plants. Very cool place. Yeah, how she's got it all set up, because it used to be an eyeglass place. So very cool. Very cool people. Hi. So anyhow, Dana, how are you? How are you doing? Sorry, yeah, I gotta get these cards out. Whoops. How's everybody doing? Everybody okay? I'm, in case anybody's wondering, I'm getting ready to do a reading here for, somebody that's on the live. So I'm not just sitting here, like, doing nothing. I had to come on here and, like, say something prior, so. And I gave her a reading yesterday. Started to. I mean, it seemed like we were on there. Or 2 days ago, that's right. And, so I told her I would continue on, because she had to stop, and then I started not feeling well. It was weird. I was starting to get the worst headache near the end of that reading, and that's why I asked you, Dana, if anyone, like, gets headaches or migraines or whatever. I mean, it was pulsating. It was pulsating. It was bad. And it continued on through that night to where I told you it was making me, like, physically ill. And that was all bad. You're happy? That's good. I'll be happy when I get in a damn tooth tomorrow. Jesus. I'll shut up about it. You know what I mean? Well, it just makes me very self-conscious. And I don't care. Yeah, and he might have gotten mad because I said something about... That was the reason my tooth came out, from him. Putting his hand over my mouth and, you know, trying to get me to be quiet, and pressing so hard on me that he pushed it out, basically. So, And on God, I have no reason to lie. I don't have any reason to lie to anybody about anything, you know. I'm not out there doing the most. I'm not out there doing whatever, you know. I don't appreciate being lied to and used and taken advantage of, you know what I mean? And being made to think that somebody cares about me if they really don't, you know. I think that's terrible to do that to somebody. So, okay, Dana, let's see. Per these cards, and I'm just going to read from them real quick. I'm not going to like turn the camera to show them. Yeah, because I just don't feel like doing all that right now. So I'll just explain them and then we'll move forward. But I thought I would try this. Not sure what May means to you. No, or March. March 5th or May 3rd. I think it's March 5th, honestly. Or the 8th. Something about the 8th. Your husband? What about him? It has to do with him? Okay. Oh. Yeah. Oh, so you know him. You know who I'm talking about? I had heard. I had heard things, but you know. It is what it is. But okay, anyway, prosperity. Okay, you're going to go on a small little journey in March, and I think that is going to be your journey. It doesn't have to be a physical journey. It could be a journey of like self-discovery and working on yourself, which the 18th, okay. 8 and 8 is 16. No, I don't know. There's something about 8th. Well, it could be the 18th because the 10. Your husband gets headaches. Okay. Anyhow, March. Journey of like self-discovery, which we talked about. You may be working on yourself and, you know, things that you needed to work on. There's prosperity coming between May and August. Okay. No. May and October. May and October. Your husband is worried. That's who this is. Your husband's worried about love. I'm not sure why. I'm just going to say this, and you don't have to like type anything in regards to this. If some things maybe on the home front, you know, sometimes they might get a little complacent, or I don't want to say boring, but stale or stagnant, you know, it's like same old routine, like there's nothing. Start doing some things to like spice some things up, and I've told people this before, you know what I mean? Surprising one another, like doing different little things for each other, you know, to show that you care, or, you know, like dressing sexier or something, you know, like, or going out and doing the things for yourself that also will then in turn, you know, impress the guy at home, you know, and yeah, that's about, I don't want to exploit too much. May you're going on vacation. Yes, and yes, and yes. Okay, yes. So, okay, yes, because there's worry about love from him. And that's why it's like, okay, you know, it's not that he feels that you don't love him, but it's like, you know, if things are getting kind of complacent or people are just stuck in their same old routines, and it's like, you know, you got to keep the home fires burning. And if they're not burning, you know, if they're fizzling out, then you got to do some things to like reignite the spark. You know what I mean? So, but for some reason around September, I mean, yeah, there's prosperity coming in May, August, September, and October. Okay. May, August, September, October. But for some reason in September, there's going to be a lot of worry about that prosperity. So I'm not sure. I'm hearing about how it's going to be handled, almost like money being thrown away. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if somebody gambles or like maybe deals with the lottery or does something. Yeah, because August and September and October, 3 months in a row, big time prosperity, okay? You got 8, 9, and 10, and those are the 3 biggest cards besides the A's. So there's money coming in from somewhere. Number 1, an unknown source, okay? And then number 2, that's why I asked if somebody gambled or played like the lottery or something, because there's going to be, somebody coming into some money. Also, I'm hearing, though, inheritance. So it's like 3 different things. Unknown source, like gambling, lottery, games of chance, things like that, and or inheritance. There's 3 things going about. Your love life is going to take a turn because, look, you got the ultimate love card. Okay. And then this guy, again. So after September, things are going to start kicking back up, or, you know what I'm talking about. Getting a little bit better there, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Everybody goes through phases or slumps or whatever. Some people do, some people do, some people don't. Maybe there are couples out there that are just like hot with each other like the whole damn time, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, you have to have everything perfectly like configured to where, like you're always home at the same time, and like, you must have no kids, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a dream world. So it's like, yeah. So things like that happen, but just start doing little things to like surprise him and like make yourself like, more sexy, or make him feel sexy. You know what I mean? Even just by like, cooking his favorite meal without telling him, and, just little things, you know what I mean? Or picking something up, because he likes it, or it's his favorite thing. Doesn't have to be anything like real expensive. Just be like, oh, hey, you know what? I was thinking of you today, and so I thought I'd go out and get this for you because you haven't had this in a long time, or da-da-da, shit like that. So, yeah. I mean, I wish I could communicate this well when I'm in a relationship. Like, honestly, I wish I could. Me and relationships don't mesh well. Like, I'm great. I'm actually great with people. You know what I mean? And I get along with just about everyone that I meet. But it's like, when I'm in a relationship, I have no brain. Like, and everything's out the window, and it's like I clam up and I bitch up, and it's like, it's weird, man. And I don't know. I would imagine that's from all them years of abuse, you know what I mean? But I mean, because I've got PTSD really bad, from all of that and stuff. So even like people starting like to yell at me, and certain pitches and tones of, even just when people talk, sometimes I will jump or shudder, or, or yeah, I get to the point sometimes if I'm in enclosed spaces and someone starts yelling at me or like in my face, and, and I can't take it. And like, I just put my hands over my ear, and it's weird. I like start rocking, and I try to like tone it out. I can't take it. I can't take people yelling and screaming and getting in my face, and nope. Not going to do it. I don't know how many times I'm going to do that. All right, Dana Happy. Spirit, what messages do you have for her? Yeah, that was just a real quick regular card thing. I just thought I'd do something different. God, and then I was on here last night. Well, and then I ended up doing an individual reading for somebody last night. And that's why I was late getting on here last night, because, oh my gosh, I was like 2.5, almost 3 hours. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And then I had to come on here, and it's like, whew. And then I was on there for like 2.5 hours. It's like, okay, there went my whole day. Like, try to rest and feel better, but okay. All right. First off, we have the Page of Wands, which has to do with exploration, like freedom, excitement, you know what I mean? And what did I say at the beginning of the other little cards? Like you were going to start on a journey, you know what I mean? Of self-discovery. And to me, that's the exploration. You got the Nine of Pentacles, which is funny because you got the Nine of Diamonds in there too, which means fruits of labor, rewards, and luxury. So I said, you're going to be sitting pretty. Is all I'm going to say. Like, before the end of this year, I mean, you guys are going to be fine. You know what I mean? You're going to be able to do the things that you were talking with me about, you know, 2 days ago. And everything's going to work out, you know. There'll be less stress, you know. New places to move. Okay. Eight of Wands. Rapid action, movement, quick decisions. See? Everything's going to happen very, very quickly. Because like I said, between May and October, anyhow, I mean, that's what? June, July, August, September, October. That's only a 5-month span. And there were 4 different times in a 5-month span of prosperity coming your way. We had what? We had May, August, September, and October. Yeah, 4 in a 5-month span. That's crazy. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you, for real, because you deserve it. You know what I mean? Everybody deserves it, but you deserve it, you know. Queen of Swords. Perceptiveness, like having a clear mind. Okay? See? You're going to be sitting pretty up there on your throne. Just ready to take it all in is what I'm hearing. Who's Jack? I don't know if anybody knows a Jack. This has to do, 7 of Cups, with searching for purpose, making choices, daydreaming, though. You can start daydreaming now, is what I'm being told to tell you, you know. Because your dreams are going to honestly become a reality. So, I mean, I'm not saying like billionaire or anything, or even multimillionaire, but you're going to be sitting very comfortably. I don't even know how much, but you're going to be very comfortable, okay? You're going to be fine. You're not going to have to worry. That's all I'm hearing. She's not going to have to worry. And they said, you know, my spirit guide said, it doesn't matter how much. You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Bills can be paid. Bills can be caught up. You know, a new home, you know, paid for. That's what I'm hearing. So it's going to be one of those type deals. And they usually don't say things like that. So for my spirit guides to be saying that, I mean, and people are like, oh, don't be getting our hopes up and stuff like that. I'm going to say, I've yet to be wrong, people. I have yet to be wrong. My spirit guides, they wouldn't do that. They're angels, basically. You know what I mean? And they deal with source directly, and they tell me, and I channel exactly what is meant to be said. It's not thoughts coming from me. It's channeled messages per my spirit guides, you know, and for them to bring up something like that, because just like they tell me all the time, and they try to tell me to instill this into you guys, you know, don't worry about, basically, don't sit and dwell and worry about what you don't have right now, and worry about, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had this. Worry about the here and now. But for some reason, for them to go ahead and tell me, okay, yeah, you're going to be fine, you're going to be comfortable, and a house and things like that, and bills paid, there's a reason behind it, because they know how stressed out you have been, you know what I mean? And not that anyone, you know, any and everyone would deserve it, but it's due, is what they're saying. It's way past due, you know what I mean? And they wanted to take some stress off of you and help you to breathe a little bit easier and help you to be able to sleep a little bit better at night and not have bad dreams and, you know, dreams about stress and worry and things have, you know, and be constantly thinking. Just constantly thinking is what they said, constantly thinking, but it's worry. It's worry thinking. Curiosity, mental energy, and restlessness. Okay? Don't get restless. Don't, you know, clear your mind. Take your you time, like we talked about. You do you. You take your you time. You chill. You do what you do. Okay, let's see. Let's ask about, you know, relationship. Where's this marriage, you know, going to go? What are they going to be doing together? Well, gee, here we go. More pentacles. Has to do with sharing and generosity and charity. So you guys are going to be the type of people that, you know, once you receive something, I mean, you're going to be in a position to where you can give or help others, and you're going to. So I think this was reversed. The Queen of Wands, which reversed it has to do with selfishness, jealousy, and insecurities. So I don't know if there is because this Queen of Wands is not you, is what they're saying. It's not representing you. It's representing like a sister figure. That would be exuding like the jealousy and the envy and the insecurities then because of you guys coming into this, you know what I mean? And this person is going to be showing those behaviors and those traits and characteristics of jealousy and envy, like, you know, why did they have to get that? I mean, do you know somebody like that? It's a sister type person, so it could be a sister, a friend, maybe even like an aunt or something, or if he has a sister, somebody's going to come in and... All right. What else do we have in store for Miss Dana and the Happy? Did you ever say that... Because I totally forgot. Jack. Do you know somebody named Jack? And then John, last name starts with an M. Intuitive Kevin. That means use your intuition. Use your intuition. With what? In regards to what I was talking about a moment ago, with the Queen of Wands, the whole sister type figure, or person or friend or whatever, the person that's going to end up being a little bit jealous and envious and having some insecurities because of you guys being okay. They said if you can't think of who it is right now, yeah, use your intuition. Okay, so you do. Okay. That's what they were saying. Yeah, there's going to be transition. See, I told you, a lot of change. I want to know thoughts and feelings, though, of each of you guys. Let's see. What about her husband? How is her husband feeling right now? What is going on with her husband? Is he, and I don't mean like, is he more of an aggressive type person, a more gruff? Your husband? I don't mean mean, just like, you know, more aggressive, blunt, out there. Doesn't really have a feminine side, so to say. A man's man. Is he a man's man? Okay. I'm hearing yes. Beginnings. What does that mean? New beginnings. Who's aggressive? That was the ex, wasn't it? Was there an ex? Somebody was aggressive. Do you have an ex-husband? Oh, can be. This thing is slow. It's like behind. It's very... Okay. Jack and John. And for some reason now they're saying the little nursery rhyme, like Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. What is the reason behind that? Who is Jack to you? A friend? Because what I'm hearing, and for some reason I picked this up, it has to do with going in circles, going in circles, going in circles. Like going round and round with this person, going round and round with this person, or this person goes round and round with people. Jack is a young kid. Does he have ADHD? Does he have a very busy mind? Is he hyper? Yes. That's the whole going round and round and round. Was that kid named after Jack Sparrow? From Pirates of the Caribbean? That's what they just said. Jack Sparrow. I know this is an older name. Who's Henry? He was named after Jack Sparrow. Okay. Who's Henry? Either Henry or Harry. John is my son-in-law. Okay, no, who's Henry or Harry? It's an older gentleman. A cousin. I don't know if he has darker hair now, but did he used to have darker hair? Like, Henry is a cousin. Who plays the banjo? He had dark hair. Okay. I don't know why they're saying banjo, but almost like... they showed me him playing a banjo. Like, yeah. Yes, ma'am, he does. Okay. Did he ever play the spoons, too? Like, if you know what I mean, like the spoons. Dark hair, dark glasses. That's crazy. Who's Philip? Phil or Philip? My father-in-law played the banjo. That's weird. Did he play the spoons too? He's Chester. What? Okay. Anyhow, moving forward. Yeah, I just thought that was great. Yeah, they just showed me like. And now they're singing, or they're not singing, but I'm hearing that song, Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. You know? We got House, which of course I already said. Not sure about Philip. Maybe that's in relation to somebody else. House. Animosity in regards to the house. But have faith. You know what I mean? Because everything's going to work out. Like, there might be a little bickering back and forth about picking and choosing of a new place to live. But other than that. Ooh. That's fine. It could be for somebody else out there. Let me see. What do we got here for Dana? Divine Feminine, and you're protected. Yay. Oh, these are stuck underneath me. I don't want them all stuck here. I should have brought those over here. What is vibrating? Oh, that's my phone. Okay. Let's give you some little motivational things, and then I'll stand up, and then I'll get my crystal cards and moon cards, angel cards, and all that. And we'll do those. Let's see. Choose your dreams, and knowledge is power. We'll do one more of these. And never stop growing. That's right. Never stop growing. Never stop working on yourself. There's always things to improve upon. These are, I think, inspirational for Dana. We have, it's just a bad day, not a bad life. So always look at the silver lining of things. You know, just because we might have, you know, a few bumps in the road, or 40 years of bumps right here, you know. I still have the rest of my life to live, you know. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Leave the past in the past. You've survived 100% of your bad days. Isn't that the truth? Be the woman that you needed when you were younger. And make today so great that tomorrow will be jealous. Okay? Yeah, I have to watch my legs. Oh, so I've got a dress on. Okay. All right, now we're going to do some of these real quick. I have so many. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right, let's do some. Oh my gosh. Shit. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Nothing to do with you. It has to do with me and my dress. Okay. All right, Spirit. For these daily crystals, what would you like Dana to know? All right, first we have agate. It says, get back into balance. See, and that has to do with the self journey, working on yourself. Look it up here. It's all in alphabetical order. So the agate, or agate, however you want to say it, says, get back into balance. Now is the time for mastering your sense of equilibrium. Reevaluate how you spend your time and energy to ensure your efforts are aligned with the priorities in your life. Choose to put the less important things on the back burner so you can give your full attention to what matters most. Taking things at a slower pace does not equate to a less productive day. Often, it's just the opposite. Taking your time and distributing your energy is a healthier, more intentional way, which will help you feel more centered, enabling you to become more successful in everything that you do. Okay, questions to ask yourself. What are the priorities in your life? What are your priorities? And what areas in your life get most of your time and energy? Are these things aligned? Are you spending your time in a way that serves your intentions and supports a balanced life? Okay. And then the crystal action affirmation is balance is my natural state of being. And then it says today, stop and take 3 deep breaths anytime you feel out of balance, giving yourself the time to remember what is most important. So, you just always breathe in your nose and then out your mouth. And okay. All right. And then tonight when I come back on here to do reading, I'm going to do another guided meditation tonight. I know I didn't post anything or anything like that. Oh, well, people got on me last time. I am so spur of the moment. I'm a very spontaneous person, impulsive. I'm getting better. That is something I'm working on. I have gotten a lot better, but it's my time management skills and getting things in organizational skills. It's I'll write shit down and have it all organized, written down, but then I'll forget to look at the damn book. I'll put the book up somewhere or something, It's well, that was for nothing. That's the shit I do. So, okay. What else would you like Dana to know? Excuse my language, people. Oh, well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? At least I'm not throwing out the F-bomb or something. Whoa. Okay. The top one is what I heard. Citrine. I love citrine. It brings in the light. It's such a happy crystal or gemstone. Citrine is. I love citrine. Citrine is very good too for if you have acne or pulling out pimples. You take a piece of citrine and put it on that or selenite, and it will suck the stuff right out. I'm telling you, you can feel it too. You can feel the energy moving towards that crystal, just like you can feel it moving when I put my hands on you, and it's crazy. And some people are like, oh, it's starting to hurt. It's not hurting. It's just pressure, because all of whatever toxins, whatever in your body is going to that one spot where that crystal is, and or where my hands are, and it's taking it away. Honestly, yeah. Okay, citrine. Let the sunshine pour in. Some spiritual vitamin D will lift your spirits and your sights on life. Let happiness be a choice you make every day. Just like the sun bursts through the fog on a cloudy day, you have the ability to bring light in, even when you might be feeling a little blue. You are in charge of the weather within your inner environment. Embrace what it feels like to feel good and make a conscious effort to stay in the light. Core questions. What brightens your day, Dana? When are you the happiest? How does it make you feel to stand in the sunlight? And your affirmation is, I let the light back in. Today, watch the sun rise or set. So if you didn't get to see it rise, then watch it set. I like them both. I just think it's so pretty sometimes. And when the sky gets pink or purple, I think it's just amazing. Oh, that's funny. Harris. Ha. I said Harry and Henry, so Harris. That's funny. All right, one more for Dana out of the crystals. This one. Ooh, bloodstone. Get up, get moving. Yes, bloodstone helps detoxify your blood, helps regulate your blood, helps get it going. I love bloodstone. It'll suck anything right out of you. It says movement is momentum. It is a life force crucial to maintaining a healthy mind, body, and soul. In addition to just feeling better when we are physically active, our mind is clearer, our mood is brighter, and our spirit is energized. Even on days when it seems hard, stand up and get your blood pumping. You might be surprised at how quickly movement can recharge you. Set specific goals to better serve the needs of your physical body and stay motivated to achieve them. Once you take the first step, kinetic energy will kick in and soon you'll be off and running. Great. Core questions, Dana. Where does movement and activity place in the list of your priorities? What is getting in the way of being active? How can you incorporate movement into your daily life? You know? Your affirmation, joyous movement energizes me. Today, do one thing that gets your blood pumping. Okay? So those were 3 inspirational crystal oracle cards. I used to have some angel was. I swear people have stolen so much stuff from me, taken so much stuff from me. I mean, and I've had so many crystals and stuff stolen. I mean, that's terrible. Like, all right. Let's see what Mother Earth has to tell you. That's what Gaia is. Gaia means Mother Earth. Not sure if you're close with nature or like the outdoors. Somebody likes the outdoors, like a lot. It's like their sanctuary, or somebody is like build a little sanctuary, a quiet spot outside. And if you don't have one yet, you need to get one. First card that comes out, I've never had this card. A hidden gift. An ending and a new beginning is what that means. A hidden gift. And we know what that gift will be. Ain't it funny how these all kind of like go with what I was saying. Whoops. All right, come on. We need another one for Dana. At least 2 more. I was trying to do a few cards of each so I can... Okay, there's one. The Moonlight Goddess. It says repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. See? Just like when I told you, you're going to be working on yourself. You're going on a journey of self-discovery. The Dark Night of the Soul. So you're going to have to dig deep. I mean, if you're going to start to work on yourself, and if your spiritual awakening like is going to start, because it's going to start whether you want it to or not, you know, and it just depends on you how quickly you transition and transform, and how well you work on yourself as to how things kind of like, you know, progress and turn out. So, like I tell everybody, you just have to want better, you know. You have to change your mindset. You have to believe that all this is going to happen. All of this is going to, you know, come to fruition and be manifested, you know. All of, you know, your dreams and thoughts and all that, you know, are going to come true. You're going to be relieved of stress, you know. You have to believe these things. You have to have faith that it's going to happen. You have to have faith and believe that it's time for your karmic return, you know. You just say it's my turn. Like, it's coming. You have to will it into existence, but it's going to happen anyhow. Peace. See, yeah, and then it'll bring peace. Dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. Let your mind rest, because it will soon be able to rest at ease and be at peace. There will be less stress, less things for you to worry about. Okay? I'm just doing a few from each. I'll do that later. Okay. Let me see. All right, these moon cards. All right, per Dana and her spiritual awakening. Roundabouts. Is it already started? When will it start? When will she start this whole inner journey? Self-discovery. What the hell am I watching? What is this for? It's like it's vibrating the innards of the person. All right. What do you want Dana to know? Oh, when? You have the power to create the timing by taking action. See? By this next winter, everything will be in full force is what I'm hearing. Like either at the peak of your spiritual awakening or middle. Your niece. The time is now. Don't be indecisive. Indecision will cause delays, okay? If you have a decision that's been weighing on your mind, by the next full moon, make that decision, okay? Very important one is what I'm hearing. It has to do with planning. So I don't know if it maybe has to do with like planning of whatever trip you're going on or something. But there's going to be a major decision that has to be made. Make it by the next full moon. That goes with that. We don't need to do that. On my foot. All right. Let's see what our healing spirits, spirit guides, through these oracle cards have to say about Dana. They want me to spread these out. And you're like, who's they? My spirit guides. Okay. For anybody that's questioning, why does she keep saying they? Who is she talking to? My spirit guides. Okay. First off, they want you to know, to overcome, you first have to climb. Okay? There's always going to be hills to climb, mountains to climb, steps to take, lessons to learn. You just have to forge on and get through it and get over it. Okay? Stay the course is what I'm hearing. Stay the course. Where the hell is it? Okay, there it is. Okay. It says, fear is heavy and has been pulling you down. So now is the time to lift your thoughts and lighten your mind by focusing on the good things you have experienced thus far and the bright prospects still to come. The guardian spirits want you to become lighter, and you can do this by overcoming the obstacles that are preventing you from achieving your goals. By working on your fears, you can remove dark and fearful thoughts from your mind and light the path ahead of you. Once you see clearly, you will realize that success is just around the corner. The light might rise higher. The light mind rises higher and sees more because it has lost the fear which once caused it to be tied down. So once you let go of that stress and that fear and that anxiety and that worry and all that stuff, you'll be good to go. See, ain't this great how all of these are kind of like connecting and all having to do with your life turning out for the better and less stress, because that was the main thing that you were. This is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to make any decisions. Anything important, this is the time. Any type of change, this is the time. Whether it be relationship, work, something, this is the time. If you have any questions about wanting to do something, this is the time. That's how they just keep putting it in. This is the time, period. Life is a series of ups and downs until something pulls you to a point where you know that it is changing and expanding. It is a special moment when things are falling into place and the stars are in complete alignment. Now is that moment for you. It isn't a time for reflection or consideration, but for being bold and walking forward and accepting your destiny. You have arrived at the right place at the right time to shine. Special moments are rare in any life, so never let one pass you by. Grab it with both hands. What is today? What is the date? 26th. The 28th. You guys, for whoever is paying attention and watching, February 28th, all 7 planets are going to be in absolute alignment. That will be the best day. And I think I will do a meditation that day too, maybe twice. Okay? Morning or afternoon, and then evening, because that is the best time to clear out and release everything. All 7 planets will be in alignment, meaning all 7 chakras will be in alignment, okay? The best time to get balanced and to release all that stagnation, all that yuckiness, okay? So we can do that together on the 28th. Oh, another one. One more on these. God, I got cards everywhere. Okay, right here. It says, life lessons again. Life lessons again. Life lessons again. 18. Okay. All right. They're constant. You might grow to find that there is no actual right or wrong in this world and that everything happens in order for a lesson to be learned. Now is a good time to remember that your spirit guides are helping you to understand your own life lessons, and you will soon come to know why you chose them this time around. You may wonder why you have given yourself such difficult tasks, but once you understand your lessons, you won't have to learn them again. Also, by learning them, you will give yourself power over the rest of your life. Learning lessons, righting our wrongs, fixing our mistakes, correcting them, ensuring that we don't do them again, becoming aware of red flags, becoming aware of things as they're happening, as the lessons are being learned, you're aware that what you're doing and going through is a lesson, or there is a lesson to be learned with what you're doing, and you figure it out as you go along with it. That's how it starts to happen. You know what I mean? That's how things start to happen. That's when you know you're more awakened, honestly. When you're more aware of everything you're doing. You're not on autopilot anymore. You're actually aware of everything going on and around, and the decisions and the choices, and aware of the thoughts of the choices and decisions, if you understand what I mean. And lastly, we're going to do some angel whispers, and I can get with you another time to do a more so channeled one, but I kind of wanted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. I have to come on here so much and so often, have so many hours, anyhow, in order to get paid. 1717, self-reliance, Dana, okay? Time has come to rely on your knowledge, your wisdom, and your ambition. You have an important soul mission and life purpose. Leaning on your inner strength will allow more of your path to unfold ahead. Now, the affirmation, the angel affirmation is, as I take leadership of my life brings a flow of good fortune and good blessings. See? Man. If those aren't signs, like everything, with what I said, it had to do with abundance and prosperity from the very first card thing, and then I started channeling in about the home and money and different things. And then every single card thing that I have laid down or put out has had to do with you coming into something. Being less stressed, coming into abundance, prosperity, a home, like all of it. It's not crazy. It's amazing. It's amazing how all of this works. So I think it's cool as hell. So 911, 911, courage. A doorway has opened for you, and while apprehension may be felt, allow courage to flow in as you put your best foot forward. You are being encouraged to let curiosity lead you, and know that the divine has your back. You're protected. What did I show you earlier with the cards? Divine feminine, protection. Exactly. I said you're protected by angels. The affirmation, I allow courage to prevail as curiosity leads me through new doors. Don't let fear get the best of you. Just jump on in. You know what I mean? Take whatever opportunity comes your way. And what is the last message you want Dana to know today? There we go. Ooh, did you see how that flipped out? 1, 2, 3. Vision. Your path will not look identical to anyone else's. That is what makes you unique. Remember that as you stay the path that feels connected, the path will continue to lead you into alignment. Let your vision be as different as what you are. Okay? And your affirmation for this: my path is mine and mine alone. When I follow my path, alignment comes naturally. So, as long as you're you and you're doing what you love and what you're passionate about, and and you're geared towards that, and your focus is on that, everything will just fall into place. Okay? Everything will fall into place, because that's what life is about. It's about doing the things that we love, being with the people that we love, sharing things with others that we love. That's the key to everything. The key to life is love, unconditional love. It runs behind everything that we do. Okay? All right. Well, I'm going to hop off here for now. I need to take a break. I have not ate yet today. I had a banana. That's it. And the only thing I had yesterday, I think, was a little tiny bit of chicken. So I need to start eating. I think I've lost weight, and I'm not trying to. So, yeah, I need to. Well, that whole thing with that guy was stressing me out. And when I get stressed out, I don't eat. So, now depression's the opposite. When I'm depressed, I eat. But when I'm stressed and anxious, I don't eat. So, yeah. But I hope everyone has a good day. I will be back on here tonight between 8:30 and 9, okay? That we will. And remember, the 28th, we'll do, I won't do it tonight. We'll do it the 28th. We'll do it twice then. And then, please, if you have not yet, go to YouTube. All of this is free, people. Please go to YouTube, my YouTube channel. It's at The Healing Hippie, okay? And hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. You will never get anything from me, all right? I will never send you anything. You don't have to pay for anything. I need you to hit that button and tell your friends and family and everybody you know, please, because I have to get so many subscribers in order to go live and get monetized on YouTube. So please help me out. It's free. It takes 10 seconds out of your day, okay? And tell people that you know, your friends and family. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? All right. I will see you guys tonight. Peace, love, and light. Bye.